Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be talking about how to deal with the loss of a pet. I'm going to talk about this because it just came to me. It was something that I just felt prompted to talk about. There's no specific reason behind it. Just a few years ago, we lost a really, really special dog to us. It was my wife's dog, Grim. She was such a nice dog. She has such a connection with my wife. My wife, she wasn't really a whole lot of a dog person. We had dogs, we had pets, and sure, that was our dog, but Grim was her dog. It was a dog that she got for her, for training, for sport work, that she got this puppy from 7 weeks of age. And it was a dog that she spent every day with, she trained with every single day. And she just has such a strong bond and attachment to this dog. We also had a cat, and his name was Licorice. And Licorice also was a very special cat to both of us. Just very unique personality. And we lost them both in the same year. We lost Grim to a spay surgery that did not go well. I made a video on this topic. And it's the one thing that made us go, we're never spaying a dog again unless it is a necessity due to a medical condition. And that's why it has to get done. My wife Liz now has a different dog. I mean, it was a bit of an interesting coincidence how this second dog came about. The story around it is very interesting. Basically what happened was, Graham passed away, and a couple of days later, we got this client dog. It was a puppy, this client dog that we were going to train for a couple of weeks. So we got this puppy at 7 or 8 weeks of age, just like a couple of days after Graham passed away. Graham passed away, watched this puppy, and it was a client dog. And then the puppy went home, but it was a puppy that I told my wife, I was like, hey, you know what, train this puppy. I'm gonna have this puppy. I just want you to get your mind off of this. And she agreed. She thought it was a good idea. So her dear dog had just passed away, and now to keep her occupied, she's training this puppy, right? At very, very young puppy. So she trained the puppy, she did all the training, really kept her occupied. And, just months later, we kept working with that puppy back and forth. And then when that puppy was about 3.5 or 4 months of age, the owner wanted to rehome the dog. She couldn't have the dog anymore. So we ended up taking the dog, right? We ended up taking that dog that my wife had trained when she was a puppy. So we kept the dog, and my wife Liz, she was very reluctant to say, well, this is my dog now, because she had it had just been fairly recently that she had lost her dog when we acquired this dog. And she was very reluctant to even think that she was replacing Grim with this new dog. But as the months went by, the bond between Liz and this new dog just grew and grew and grew, to the point where now this black dog, Samara, has now become Liz's dog. And the way that it worked is, I look at it as, the universe took something from Liz, right? Well, you can think of it whichever way you want. This is how I think of it. It took something from Liz and immediately placed something else to keep her occupied. And it really worked, because had she not had this puppy to train, she would have had more time to focus on the pain. And now it just gave her companionship from an entirely different animal, entirely different personality. And obviously, no animal is going to take the place of Grim. But that's kind of how it worked. Now, Licorice we lost a few months later. Licorice was already an old cat, and he had these health problems that just kept they just kept gradually getting worse to the point where it was just so painful for him to be alive that we finally made the decision to just put him down. Very difficult. Two losses, two very dear animals in one, in 1 year, within months of each other. So how do we deal with this? Just in general, this is a very painful experience, and a lot of times it's even more painful than losing a relative, because a relative you see, unless it's a close relative, the companionship that you get from a pet is so unconditional that I think it's even more difficult to lose one of them than to lose your aunt or your grandpa or your grandma that, yes, you love dearly, but you don't get that constant companionship and unconditional love that you get from your pets that are there for you all the time. So how do we deal with that? Well, you have to think of it this way. You don't really lose them. You don't really lose anything. Everything is here. Everything is here, and it's always been there. It'll always be. There's just different forms that the collective energy takes. You're not really losing them. Yes, you lose the presence, and that's what's painful when we look at it from a very limited human perspective. We think of it as we just lost this pet, we lost this person. But they're not really taken from you. They just took a different form. Okay? And the memories that we have with them, the good experiences that we had, we focus on those moments, then you align with that image of your loved one. And yes, it hurts to not have them with you. It hurts to not be able to touch them and talk to them and have that tangible experience. But if you align yourself with the loss, if you align yourself with the oh, poor me, or poor, animal, whatever, then obviously you get more of that pain. Now in the beginning, obviously, you lose a loved one, you lose the pet. Yes, it's gonna hurt like hell, and rightfully so. It's a process. You have to digest it. You have to just get over it. Just bury your face in that pillow and go through that process. Okay, and gradually you start to replace that pain with the good memories. And that's what we do, right? That's what we did. That's what we do. That was our coping mechanism, right? When we lost them, yes, we both cried for each of them when it happened. But the thing that we started to do is we just started to have these funny memories of them. We started to remember the good times. We started to remember the funny quirks that they had. And then gradually that pain and that crying got replaced by laughing. And yes, the pain and the crying will come back, right? But what we do is we made an effort to just gradually remember more of those good things. And it's just a process that everybody goes through, okay? Now, some people do align a lot with the loss aspect of it. And although that is part of the process in the beginning, it needs to be something that goes away, okay? If you align with, oh my God, he was in a lot of pain. Oh my God, that experience was awful. Oh my God, it could have been different. It should have been different if I hadn't done this, right? There's so many things that cover the what if, right? And they're not here right now. These are all forms of aligning with what you don't want. And so the pain is always, always, always there. And what we have to do as human beings, as just people, right? We need to really make an effort to go, this is not happening anymore. Like, the pain is not there anymore. The loss is not here right now, right? This moment that I have a choice. I can remember the good memories, okay, remember the good moments that we had and focus on that. Or I can remember the thing that is not here anymore, which is the pain, the loss. definitely going to hurt, but you have to remember it's just energy that got transferred from, they were here in a form of energy, and now it's just transformed into something else. Okay, so anyway, so I just wanted to let you know that I was prompted to make that video and to talk about this. So I figured, it would be beneficial to maybe one person.